Hello, I'm Eric Freeland, and we're going to do discussion post 2 for our flight travel review for our COO of the company. Inside this presentation, we're going to cover on-flight demands. We're going to look at the different travel miles we have, as well as the difference between turboprops and jets when determining for on-demand travel. So one of the benefits that we have here with on-demand flights that we don't have to deal with when considering airline travel is it's a lot less time at the airport. You do not have to wait on those long lines as far as check-in, your baggage check, your TSA lines, anything like that. You don't have to worry about any of that, which is a nice thing when you're talking about time is money in the business world. So being able to go from one point to another faster can help build more growth inside your company. Another thing to look at for in the business side of it is your tax breaks that you can get from the federal government and your local state governments. Depending on where you are, you can get different tax breaks. Federal, you can get different business breaks for depreciation, operational costs, things of that nature. You do not have to worry about scheduling flights. You can just say, hey, we need to go to, Los Angeles for a meeting to see new clients, potential clients, and just call it the pilots, get the plane ready to go up in the air. You're gone whenever you need to. The destinations, if you need to get to a smaller airport because you've got a company or a potential client that's in a rural part of the state, you could fly more than likely to an airport that is within the same county or city that they're located in more efficiently than having to land at a larger city and then get a rental car to drive however far to where they are. So that's a big benefit. As far as the airlines go, you potentially have maintenance delays. You have other sort of delays that they may have that you don't have to wait for if it's your own aircraft. Kind of tying all that together is when it's on demand, you get to go wherever it is you need to go to. And no matter, depending on the airplane that you pick, it could be that you could fit in almost any airport or every airport that we have in the country, depending on the plane's performance, takeoff and landings. So you don't have to wait on any of that as far as deciding which airport to pick. If it has to be larger airports or smaller airports, you're on-demand flying. Typically a smaller aircraft, get in and out of smaller airports, get places a lot faster. Here we can see kind of a chart that can look at the idea if we change locations from Tennessee to Oklahoma to move our headquarters to. If we were to stay with the airline route that we're currently going right now, you'll see that the blue is staying where we currently are, having to fly to Nashville. And then the yellowish gold color is us flying out of Tulsa. You can see we've got an increase in your overnight stays. You have more total trip time because it takes longer to get to the airport. And then you're also further away from the places that we've been traveling to. So that takes even more time because you're having to be in the air longer. Which ultimately results in a larger cost because it's longer flights. So when looking for the turboprop, I picked the King Air 350i. It's a great turboprop aircraft. It can hold a lot of weight, so it can carry a full passengers with luggage, full on fuel, and it would fly adequately, no issues needed. With that being said, it can hold a total of 10 people. One of those has a required pilot. The other one is more of a safety if you want to back up, more awareness in the cockpit, side of things. But it has 8 seats in the back that you and your executives can sit in and be comfortable for your longer stays. If you need to stay somewhere, you can pack plenty and it'll fly just fine. It's got a really long range that it can go. It actually can travel a lot farther than some of your smaller jets can, which is a big bonus. You don't have to stop and refuel. You can go further. And then it can climb pretty high for the type of plane it is with the size that it is. So you can get up in those jet streams and kind of catch some good winds and go pretty quick with where you need to go for it just being a turboprop. The downside of it is more expensive on the turboprop side. It kind of gets up in some of the smaller jet prices, but with that being said, it does add a lot of benefits. Speaking of jets, I picked the Citation Latitude because it carries about the same characteristics that the King Air does. It has about the same takeoff and landing distances. It can go farther. It can go about 1,000 nautical miles farther than the King Air can. It'll climb higher into those jet streams. It does add more value to the company as a whole, as an item that you own with the company. It's got a much larger interior, about twice the size that the King Air does, so you can have plenty of room to sit, relax, hold meetings in the airplane. It also can hold 10 people in total. It does have 2 pilots that it has to have, so you do have to pay for 2 pilots. But it has 8 seats in the back for you and the executives, or whoever else needs to come along with you. It can land in just about any airport in the country, and so that's a big bonus. It is slightly faster than the King Air is, so you can get your destinations a little bit faster, save a little bit more money. The real big downside to it is that the cost is about $10 million more than the King Air which the King Air was in the $7 million range. This is in the $16 million range. So if we look at this breakdown between the King Air and the Citation, if you look at if we stay in Tennessee or move to Oklahoma, the differences that we'll have in comparison. If we stay in Tennessee, we'll be flying out of the nearest airport for our headquarters, which is in Springfield, Tennessee, or if we go to Oklahoma, it'd be Afton, Oklahoma. You'll see here that our breakdown of flight time is drastically low compared to what it would be with the airlines, which will, as you see here on our time saved, between the time to get to the airport, the wait times, which there really isn't a wait time to get on the plane, the flight time, and the deboarding time, you're saving anywhere between almost 600 hours, right there at 580, all the way up to 704 hours, depending on where it is that we base our headquarters out of. With also that being said, we're not having to stay over as late because we're not having as many layovers. We're not going to have as many, scheduling conflicts where, when it's time to go home, there's no scheduled flights available, so we can't get back home till the next day. So all of this is saving us time and money to get to customers faster, get back faster, to get work at other different things that we have back home at the headquarters to do. So having this on-demand flight through either the Citation or the King Air can help us financially. So I kind of did a quick breakdown with the aircraft/airlines and the location to kind of see which one would fit better for us. If we're looking at straight value-wise, the King Air, for both the pilot pay, because you're only paying for one pilot, and the total cost of the aircraft to do basically almost the same thing that the Citation can do, I would give that to the King Air, but the value that the Citation brings is a lot higher for the company than what the King Air is. We can also get to places faster than the King Air, or in the Citation, than we can the King Air. It's got much more room, so you got more comfort. However, the payload that the King Air offers is about 500 pounds more than the Citation, so we can carry more people, more luggage, more fuel, all that sort of good stuff, which is nice. But then, you got that Citation that comes in here, and we can get to clients that are 1,000 nautical miles farther away than the King Air can get on one single fuel up. So, that's where the citation kind of kicks in. As far as the location goes, if we look at where we are now, we have less layovers or night stays in Springfield than we would in Afton. So we're going to have more hotel costs. Afton's also farther than where we tried to go to a lot, so it's going to be a lot longer flight times, which is going to add money because we're having to pay for the maintenance, the fuel, pilots pay, all that sort of stuff. So when making the decision, I think it really comes down to what are we looking for as far as, are we wanting comfort, style, speed? If that's the case, I'd say go with a citation. If we're looking for the financial side of things, I would say the King Air would be the better route to go. And as far as picking our location, whether if we move or stay where we are based off all the information that's here, I would say it's better to stay in Tennessee and fly on demand here than it would be to move to Oklahoma. Thank you for letting me present this to you, for figuring out if we need to go to on demand, which I believe that's where we need to go. In the long run, it's going to be more profitable to us as a company to have more time with clients, more time doing actual work than just sitting around waiting for airplanes or schedules and hotel costs and all those things that end up eating money with the company. This would end up saving us in the long run, and we're building value in our assets as well, owning the airplane. So thanks.